the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show with special guests Pascal Hutton, Natasha Burnett, Viv Leacock, and now the host of the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show, Elliott Wallach.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show, and today, once more, truth intersects with fiction, but in such a unique way. This has to do with Natasha Burnett and her incredible, such talented voice work that came to life in the play that ultimately became a radio show. But first, Tiffiany talks with Pascal Hutton about just that. Let's take a look.
Rosemary is casting a play. I feel like Rosemary, this is her wheelhouse, right? We've been, since season 2, she wanted a stage. She's always looking for an opportunity to perform.
Yes.
Let's talk about this play, how it came together.
Well, finally this play comes about. You're right, after how many seasons of Rosemary talking about it. So Rosemary decides she's going to produce, direct, and star in The Importance of Being Earnest. Her and Lee have gone off to Capital City or somewhere and seen a production of this, and she decides she's going to produce it in town, which of course hilarity ensues because everybody's auditioning for the play and Rosemary's very discouraged and unhappy, like doesn't think much of these auditions and how am I going to cast this, and then she ends up convincing some unlikely characters to be a part of the play, which is so fun to see. I always love seeing people a little bit out of their element, like characters a little bit out of their element. And but then the interesting development is that there's this new character in town, Ava Riella, who comes in kind of in a flurry and with a bit of mystery around her. Nobody knows exactly what's happening. Her story is ever evolving and more outlandish and hard to believe, which Rosemary's immediately skeptical of. First just skeptical, and then what ends up coming in is she's at the saloon and she's singing and she's playing the piano, and this is ringing a little too close to home for Rosemary. This is how Rosemary entered the town, and what's going on, and why is this somebody seeming like she's my doppelganger, like what's going on? So as you can imagine, a little bit of jealousy evolves for Rosemary, and then this woman, Ava, really wants to be in the play, and Rosemary will have none of it. She's like, I'm not going to have her ruining my play, when obviously she knows the part. Rosemary's obviously in over her head, producing, directing, starring, and she needs some help, but she just can't quite get the words out of her mouth to like actually offer the part to Ava, which is very funny.
How goes the production? I am so excited to see it.
Well, I am finding that I need a little help, so...
Oh?
Ava, would you like to play Would you like to play Yes. Would you like to come on board as our assistant stage manager? Yeah. You would help Elizabeth with organizing the schedule and figuring out the tech and wrangling the talent.
Sure. I love to wrangle.
Wonderful. We will see you at rehearsals.
Great.
I'm getting there.
Now, have you guys worked together before? Because you both were on Once Upon a Time.
I know. No,
Okay.
our storylines never overlapped. I was only on Once Upon a Time for like a handful of episodes. So, and I don't even know what she played or how many episodes she was in. But no, we've never worked together before. She's great. She's a wonderful actress and very funny in this part.
And do we see her, and is she throughout the season?
She pops in, she recurs for a few episodes, yeah, and has her own storyline unrelated to this play.
Okay.
And a very interesting storyline that kind of draws in a few people.
And I feel like maybe this is a growing moment for Rosemary. The writers give you these moments. I remember maybe it was season 3 when the reporter came in and you lied about being married.
Yes.
Right? And Lee had to kind of get after you.
Yes, and then I ended up doing the right thing.
Yes.
And so I think you're right. The writers have given me these moments of, because I think Rosemary, even though she's changed and grown so much since season 1 to now season 12, there will always be that push and pull within her of kind of the public persona that's a bit larger than life, and then the more grounded, vulnerable. And sometimes one kind of pulls a little harder than the other one, and it kind of goes off balance. And so this is a good moment where she's able to still exercise her creativity and all she has to offer artistically, but also generously bring someone else into the fold and kind of mentor them and bring them along as well, which is really, I mean, that's growth, right?
Yeah.
Gwendolyn, it is a terrible thing for a man to find out suddenly that all his life he has been speaking nothing but the truth. Can you forgive me?
I can, for I feel that you are sure to change.
Rosemary is putting together a play, producing, directing, starring, and she brings everybody else in, and you get to do an accent for the show, but it's actually your real accent, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So, but before you got When Calls the Heart, had you mastered the North American accent?
Yes, I had actually. When I first got here, my agent actually suggested when I go into rooms for auditions to do the American accent, because if they know you're British off the top, they might be listening for your British isms. And so straight away I went in as an American, and then they found out that I was also British. So
Was that good advice? Do you think that worked well for you?
I think it did. I think it did, because now I think they're aware that I can do a little bit of everything, which is nice for me.
Did you audition for this show with a North American accent?
Yes, in Minnie's voice.
Okay.
I kept the same voice, actually. I chose that to be Minnie's voice, and it stuck.
Okay, so you did it during the audition.
I did.
And they liked it. And
Yes.
so that was it. Yeah, do a little bit of Minnie for me. It's because it has kind of it's North American, but maybe has a Southern vibe to it. Did that inform it? I mean, what were you trying to go for?
Definitely in those times, I feel like she would have been from the South, and she would definitely have a softer tone.
There is something about that. It just makes me, I feel like just getting a blanket and a pillow, and it's so comforting.
Yeah, I don't even know how I found that voice.
I love it. I like your actual voice too, right? I love the accent. So Viv actually gets to do a little bit of an accent in this episode. Yes. He does a British accent, right? So what'd you think? How would you rate him on his British accent?
It's terrible. I mean, realistically, he always tries to do my accent just when we're talking. I think it rubs off on people because in general, they just try to do it anyway. But in this particular case, it was actually my suggestion because I thought it would just be funny.
Yeah.
Because his accent is that bad, Minnie would find it funny, as did I.
That'll be a stage fright, huh?
I don't know how I agreed to this. Acting in a play with an accent on the radio?
Well, now, Governor, you just have to buck up and get on for it, ain't ya? Well, you fancy a cuppa? You think I don't know my accent's terrible? I know my accent's terrible. But I also know that you are going to be really great in this play. Because you're really good at everything, Minnie.
No, I'm not.
No, you're not good at gardening. But running this cafe, quoting scripture, being an incredible wife and mother.
Now, hold on. How am I not good at gardening?
Baby, you're a plant killer. But you're also very punctual. So let's not keep these folks waiting.
All right.
All right. Now, if you get nervous, you just look at me. I'll be right there with you. And bing, Bob's your uncle.
I need to get changed.
Yes, you do.
Shall we?
We shall.
All right.
To the microphones.
Have you had an experience in your life where you can relate to having some stage fright?
Oh, absolutely. When I first started in the industry, stage fright was a thing for me because I started in theatre and I started singing, and I found it really difficult to perform I would go out and do my songs, but the actual performing, I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew what performers did do, but I just couldn't do it myself. I was so nervous. I thought people would think it looked silly or something. And then at the time, my manager said to me, look, you were great to do the leads, but if you can't perform, it's really hard to make you front the group. So I went away and I had to really work on that. So I worked on that, and I was able, but I always have a little bit of stage fright or nervousness.
Yeah.
Adrenaline.
Even still,
Yes.
on this show you do a little bit.
Sometimes, definitely more so with theatre.
Because a live audience.
Exactly. You just feel the energy of so many people, and then it gets to you in a good way. But, you know, I feel like it's good to have a little bit of nerves.
Yeah. I think it probably elevates your performance a little bit. That
It
I mean, that
does.
adrenaline gives you a little extra something.
A boost in energy, and so you just have that little bit of oomph when you go out there.
Yeah. So how did you prepare? Because you said you had to go back and work on that to perform. And you're meaning, like, you could get up and you can sing, but talking about like moving around the stage
Yeah.
and doing. Right. So what did you do? How did you work through that?
I think, you know, a couple times I was getting more and more annoyed that they had to let somebody else play the Diana Ross. And I was thinking, but I want to be in that role. And I thought, well, if I want to be in this role, I'm really just going to have to figure this out. And so I think it was a combination of deciding, okay, I've had enough of sort of being second in command, and they'd like to give me this role. So I just need to find it. And I think just one day I went out and I did whatever came to me, and I realized it's really not as bad as you think it is. People are waiting for you to perform. They're waiting to see what you're doing. They don't care what you do. They will not laugh. They're just waiting to see you do something. So once I got past that, I realized, you know, that actually, you know, I liked that as a learning curve for myself.
Yeah. And so in this episode where she is nervous to perform, and Joseph helps her,
Yeah.
why do you think they make such a good team?
I feel like they have such a good mutual respect and understanding of each other, so that he knew where that was coming from, the same way where Minnie would know where things come from with Joseph, and they're not having to discuss it. They just know each other very well. Between the two of them, they just complement each other, and they listen to each other, more importantly. And so because they respect each other's opinion, you know, I think it landed on her. And you know, to be fair, she's been doing so many things over the seasons.
Yes.
So really this, of course he can joke about it, because she's not going to take it too seriously. She knows, comparatively, this is child's play, really.
Yeah.
My nephew, you seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I've now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.
Any surprises coming up for the rest of the season that the fans can look forward to?
Yeah, I think there's lots of surprises. There's always surprises. There's even surprises for me. I haven't seen the final 2 episodes.
Okay.
We have my final 2 scripts, so I don't even know. But yes, there's lots of surprises. There's one really big surprise that's going to be a real, it's going to be an emotional one. It very likely might be definitely one of the most emotional episodes we've ever done in the history of our show. And so I always think that's, I always love that as a viewer to watch that, because you're so invested in these characters, and I like seeing them go through, of course, all their highs, but I also want to see them go through their struggles and challenges as well. And there's a big one.
And I think that's why the fans relate to the show so much. I can't tell you how many people have told me that they've been widowed and the show has helped them. And every
Yes.
time you guys tackle something serious, it's more than just a TV show.
Absolutely.
It's cathartic for people.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think that's what good movies, television, books does. It makes you feel something, and it makes you empathize and emote yourself, and that's what we want. And I think it's really special to be a part of a show that is that for so many people.
Yeah. Well, this is going to get people talking. That little teaser. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
All the emotions are going to be felt this season, and some of those storylines have found their way to Joseph Canfield, who struggles with his daughter Angela wanting to leave the home. Something every parent can relate to, even Viv Leacock, the actor that plays Joseph. He's all too familiar with the feeling.
So this season, it feels like we're getting to explore the journey with Angela.
Yes.
And she's wanting to spread her wings. And why do you think it's difficult for Joseph?
I mean, I can answer that question from the perspective of a dad who has a daughter, Vienna, who has just graduated from high school, and is looking to spread her wings as well and travel and yeah, it's for Joseph and Minnie. Having a daughter who, is dealing with a setback in that she can't see, it's scarier to have that child go off into the world, because you were always there to make sure nothing happened. But what Angela wants to do is go to a school for the blind. And look, Joseph and Minnie, they've known that this day was coming. There's no way they didn't know. They knew this day was coming. They know she can't live with us forever. The kids have to go. They have to spread their wings. Especially, back in this time that the show is based around, kids made their move way earlier than, kids now. My brother was in the house till he was 30 years old. No, so.
But kids back then, I mean, there are stories of kids on the railroad at 11 or 12.
They're out the door.
Yeah.
Right. So so if we approach it with our sensibilities of being people from this time, I think we're putting much more on it than what it would be at the age that she is. The age that Angela is, parents were prepared for this child to go off. So where she's going and what she's doing is all beneficial for her and for the family. But you still have your kid going away from you, which nobody likes.
Yeah. And there's another theme, her talking about how she's different. And that's not really getting through to Joseph at first.
No.
Right? How do you walk your kid through something like that when it's an experience you don't have firsthand?
Yeah, I really loved doing that scene because, to a large degree, you can kind of make sure that your child is happy and take care of all their little needs. And you think that everything is great, because within the circle of the family, that dynamic, everything is great. But yeah, how am I seen outside of this circle? What do people think about me outside of this circle? What do I think about me outside of the circle? And yeah, just to tackle that, like I said, I'm going through it in real life with Vienna, given that she wants to spread her wings and she wants to see the world and she wants to, expand her learning as far as with acting and a bunch of things. And it's a little scary, but at the same time, I remember at the same age, I wanted to do the same thing. I was out the door.
Yeah.
So
did you leave early?
I left. So my family was in New York when I was a kid, and then we came. We felt my dad got a good job here, which led us to Vancouver. But at 18, I was like, I'm going back to New York, and that's exactly what I did.
Was that hard?
No, it wasn't hard for me.
It wasn't?
No, I wanted to go.
Yeah.
But about 4 months in, my mom said, I want you to come back. And I did. I listened to my mom. That's mom. So I went back home, but I never considered how that felt for my parents. Not one day. I did not. I was like, I'm going to go. This is what I want to do. And that's the thing that when this scene came up, that was my reference. I actually realized that Angela's not thinking about Minnie and Joseph. Not at all. She's thinking about what she wants to do for herself. And so it helped me understand, the both sides, the characters from both sides. But Joseph really wasn't listening to what Angela was saying when she said, I'm different. And he said, no, you're not. And she says, yes, I am. And it's something that he was trying to kind of not think about too much. But yeah, she is different, and she has to learn to deal with life in a different way. And it's not something that he could ever know, but he can definitely support it.
Right, and as parents, we try to tell our kids, no, you can do it. You're not different. You're,
Yeah, you're amazing.
You're amazing.
You can do anything.
Right, rather than really hearing them for what they're, where they're really at.
Yeah, sometimes they're telling you, but you got to hear it. So yeah, it was a great scene, and just to be able to do that with Vienna.
I want to apologize for not listening to you last night.
It's okay, Daddy.
No, it's not okay. I'm ready to listen. How are you feeling?
I'm actually really excited about the dance. Mrs. Thornton taught us the Charleston, and the music is so fun.
But?
I still feel different. I've been reading this book Mrs. Thornton gave me, and I know I have a community in Hope Valley. But I want to know other people who are like me. People who are blind. That's why I want to go to a college for the blind.
Well, something else they're going through is this transition with Angela. Yes. She's graduating, and she wants to go away. How is, Minnie dealing with that?
I think she feels like it's almost a throwback for her for when they first came to Hope Valley. Similar,
like trying to go to the school.
Yes,
being afraid.
Very similar feeling. I think it's one thing when you go to a new town, but now by yourself, that's a whole different level, I think, for Minnie. And she's really having to find a way to understand it and just make it make sense to her, because she knows she needs to do it. She knows somewhere she needs to do it, but I would say I can imagine it's the hardest thing for any parent with a child with or without a disability, just seeing them be away and not being able to access them in the same way, and especially in those times. There's no FaceTime,
Right. Yeah.
So it's a completely different feeling, and I feel like it has far more depth to it for that reason.
How do you feel about Vienna's performance? I mean, this is a big role for her. I mean, she's it comes with some responsibility.
It does. And I really think that she dealt with it really well from the beginning. She really respected what she was performing and what she had to represent. And she did it so well. And so now we're at a place where she's more comfortable in the character and things like that. So I think she's really taken it on and she's really done a good job.
Something weighing on you?
It's nothing.
Because I get the sense it's about the dance. You don't have to tell me, but you might feel a lot better if you do.
Everyone's talking about these new dances, but I've never danced with a partner before. What if I embarrass myself?
Well, I'd be happy to show you a few steps if you like.
But I don't know how I look.
Speaking of working with her and having these nice moments together, there's the Allie's dance party, birthday party, and you get to teach Angela how to dance. How was that for you as a father, doing that with Vienna?
So I don't know if she'll admit this, but Vienna doesn't like learning dance moves that she's never done, or she doesn't feel that, like the coordination wasn't something that she was feeling especially good with. So yeah, I was really breaking it down for her. I was really now teaching Vienna is different than Joseph teaching Angela.
Okay.
Vienna can see, so I could show her, hey, do it like this, and she can do that. But Joseph can't do that with Angela. He has to get her to feel everything. So it was a slightly different challenge, but the same thing was actually happening. And it's for real. When you see us doing the Charleston, it's me going, okay, that's all right. You'll get it.
Yeah. Was it fun, though? I mean, did you have
Oh,
a
it was
good
a lot
time?
of fun. So much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a wedding not too long ago with my parents, and I had a chance to dance with my dad.
Oh.
And it was such a sweet moment for me. And I don't know, I mean, I'm older, obviously, than Vienna, but there's something fun about dancing with your father.
It takes you right back. And actually, I ad-libbed a line where we were dancing, and I said, just put your feet on my feet like you used to do when you were small. Because she used to do that. And so, again, I say all the time, I'm not acting when it comes to working with my kids. Like, there's no acting required.
Yeah.
It's for real. It's happened. It's happened or it's happening.
I know you can't tell me what's going to happen, but do you think that this journey will be successful for Angela?
Yeah, I think, she's going to learn a lot about herself, and she's also going to learn a lot about other people who are like her, which is what she is most looking forward to. It's I was just talking about the fact that when we moved to Vancouver, my family's from the West Indies, and so we found a very small kind of West Indian community. But those connections, I remember seeing my parents connecting with other folks from where they were from Trinidad, and they'd light up. They would light up when they're around people, because it's like there's a shorthand that exists when people are from the same place you're from, and it's like they look at the world the same way you do, and that's exactly what Angela gets to experience. It's just people. She's gonna meet people and be around people who understand her way more than anybody else, and it's a big success that she's spread her wings, and she's gonna learn a lot more about how to navigate the world as a blind person.
Yeah.
That her parents couldn't teach her that.
Right.
So
yeah, and it's growth for Minnie and Joseph too.
it is just being able to kind of let go and step back a little bit, which is hard. We're in the middle of it right now. With Vienna has grand plans to go a lot of places, and I find myself just being like, just say nothing. She's like, I'd like to go to London. I'd like to go this. I'd like to go that. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, right. Who am I to say anything? I left when I was 18. I get it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season plays out. Thanks for joining me. It's always lovely.
Love hanging out with you, and I will figure out which celebrity you look like.
Okay, when you do, you tell me.
I'll let you know.
Thanks so much to Pascal, Viv, and Natasha for being part of the program, and thanks to Whatever Actress Looks Like Tiffiany for allowing their likeness to be part of the program. And thank you guys for tuning in. We have 4 episodes left, and Pascal promises that what's coming is going to be big. So we'll be right here to talk about it on the Super Channel Heart and Home After Show. Thanks again, everybody.